What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just checking in again, man. You know, I don't think I ever told y'all the story as to why I decided to start studying the HVAC trade. I have mentioned before that early on in my life, man, I was out hanging with the wrong crowd, got into some trouble. But it was really hard getting back on my feet after that. And then America went through this recession kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Back in 2008, 2010. For all the people that can remember that, or that, that can remember when that happened. Man, I was having a hard time finding jobs, and it was a trip. Life was a trip. I mean, I never thought about suicide or nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying? I never thought about offing myself, but it was that rough, man. I mean, I could barely eat sometimes. You know, I had to choose between buying food or paying rent. You know, it was a trip, man. But this is what led me to the HVAC trade, though. I was in this little apartment complex. I was living there, and I went to wash clothes. And what I was doing at the time was I was working for H&R Block. I was a seasonal tax preparer for H&R Block, and that kind of saved me. It helped me make ends meet. And it's a trip about H&R Block because they don't really care what kind of past you have, as long as you are smart enough to pass their tests, and as long as you're smart enough to operate their systems, they'll give you a shot. You know, as long as you hadn't had any financial crimes or anything like that, they'll give you a shot, working for them. And you could possibly, franchise a tax office and franchise your own H&R Block tax office, or start your own outfit after they train you. But you got to wait 2 years after you start working for them, because you sign a non-competition clause. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait 2 years after you start working for them to start your own tax outfit. At any rate, yeah, I was at this apartment complex washing clothes. I was washing my H&R Block, the stuff that I was wearing at H&R Block. I was washing those clothes in the little laundry room at the apartment complex. And there was this guy, man. There was this guy that came in, and I'm not going to call his name, but he was a trip. I'm going to tell you, he was a trip. And he came in and he asked me, he said, "Hey man, so what do you do for work?" And I told him, I was doing H&R Block stuff, just seasonal work. He said, "Well, what does that pay?" It wasn't paying well. I was just doing seasonal stuff, and I was just doing it to make ends meet, And so he started talking about, he says, "Have you ever thought about appliance repair?" And I thought, no, I really haven't. I never thought about it. Nobody's ever mentioned that to me before. And it just went over my head. Appliance repair? No, who thinks about that? Okay, well, going further into that, yeah, have you ever thought about appliance repair? No, I haven't. So that's what I do for a living. Oh yeah, okay, well that's cool. He says, "Yeah, man, and I fix air conditioners." I said, "Oh yeah, all right, well I hear you." He said, "Well, hey man, I can show you how to do it." I said, "Well, you gotta go to school for that or something?" He said, "Man, you don't need no school. You don't need no school for that. I can teach you everything you need to know." All right. Now that I've been this long in the trade, I suggest you get some formal education on it. This dude was just slick talking me, and I didn't know it at the time. But I put my trust in him and said, "Okay, well, yeah, I'll learn from you." Great. Well, I started going out on jobs with him. And it's a trip, man, because after I would get off work, or especially when the H&R Block season ended, when tax season ended, yeah, man, I was with this guy just riding around in his van a lot, fixing stuff, or watching him fix stuff. I was helping him. Actually, he was just using me for labor, but to carry stuff, and he was using me for all the bull work. Anyway, I remember doing or Formosa hibachi grill kind of restaurant. I remember doing a job with him at a Church's Chicken. I remember doing a job at let's see here, where else did we go? Church's, Formosa. I'm trying to think of the commercial accounts. Those were the two that we got up on the roofs of those restaurants. But everything else was like residential. We did a bunch of residential stuff. Did an apartment complex. We were doing maintenance on an apartment complex, fixing their stuff. But the more I started watching this guy, man, and listening to this guy, hey, man, this dude was like, he was robbing people, scamming people, and all that stuff. Like that job we did at the Chinese restaurant, or the Hibachi Grill restaurant. They just needed their ventilator straightened out. And so we got up there, and he ended up charging them for a motor and some other stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, are you kidding me? How'd you get away with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you... And then we went to Church's Chicken. We were doing stuff over there, and he was charging them outlandish stuff. And then that's when it dawned on me. He said, yeah, you don't need to go to school for this. You don't need to go for that. But I was thinking, no, I don't need to be seen. I don't need my face to be seen around you a lot. Because once I learn this stuff, I don't need these people to remember me from being with you. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get away from the guy. He was a scam artist. He was a crook. But and on top of that, he'd have all kind of excuses as to why he didn't have the money to pay me. Right? I remember one time we got into an argument, man. He said, well, hey, man, I can't pay you this week, man. I needed to make my car payment. I got to get all my stuff caught up. I said, man, I'm going to lose my car because you are trying to keep yours. I need to, pay my rent and stuff, too. Man, another commercial account was in a mall. We were doing duct work in a mall, ventilation work. And it was a trip dealing with that guy. It was a major trip dealing with that guy. But yeah, I had to get away from him, man. But that's when I learned what I did learn indirectly, you know what I'm saying, other than watching him scam folks and realizing that I couldn't be seen with him. And that's what I was thinking, and y'all gotta excuse me for saying this, you know what I'm saying, but I'm being flat honest with y'all when I say this. But we were in Alabama at the time, right? Or I was in Alabama at the time. Well, that dude is in Denver now. He left Alabama too. But it was a white dude, right? And he didn't have a license. He didn't have any kind of structured setup. He was just out there bidding on jobs, doing jobs, because he kind of knew the work. And that's what hit me too. I was like, and this is why I say, y'all gotta excuse me for this. But, and this might sound uncouth to a lot of y'all, but hey, man, to be honest with you, a lot of black people are uncouth, so I'm comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable if you call me that. But I said to myself, damn, if this white dude can go through here and rob all these people like he's doing, and not go to jail and stay in business, I need to go to school and learn this. Because if he can get by and do all this stuff and drive a Harley and you know, have 2 or 3 vehicles, man, I need to learn this trade. I need to learn it from the bottom up, and I need to do it the right way, right? So that way I know I'll be okay. And that's what led me to going to school and learning this trade. I ended up getting a license. I ended up getting my license, and dude didn't even have his. And I remember he had something funny to say about it, but I didn't care, man. I think it was just coming from a hurt place within him to know that I had already surpassed him and kept going. But out of the people that he did rob, you know, he left North Alabama and moved up to Denver, Colorado. So that's kind of where he's been operating, in Denver. But it's funny, man. What's so funny about all that stuff is that's what made me get serious. Because keep in mind, I was still trying to find some steady work. I was trying to get my feet in and rebuild from that divorce that I had, from getting in that trouble that I was in before I got married and divorced. I was really trying to rebuild my life. So that's, you know, and I thought, okay, I never thought about HVAC before. I never thought about appliance repair, ever. But I get it. I understand that can be lucrative. It can keep me from being hungry. And that's what I need. I need to not be hungry. That's it, right? So I went to school, got the education, and I mean, I love it, man. I love that trade. It helped me a whole lot. It kept me floating. It kept me alive. And if any of y'all are going through a bad spot in life or a dry spot in life where you can't seem to get things together for yourselves, or you don't know what direction to take to try to rebuild your life on some solid ground, not, you know, and I mean solid ground, absolute solid ground. You can take money that you make, save some money from the HVAC work, and start, you know, you can invest in other things or try to build you a business or try to build this or build that. But to get yourself on some solid ground, I don't see anything in 2025 today, you know what I'm saying, and beyond. I don't see anything more solid than either HVAC, electrical, or plumbing, or concrete work, you know what I'm saying, the trades. I don't see anything any more solid than being a solid tradesman right now, or a builder. Well, that's a tradesman too. A carpenter, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm here to tell y'all, man, get involved in HVAC. Well, these are the reasons that I got involved with HVAC. These are reasons that I would tell my son to get involved in the HVAC trade. I mean, the average salary of an HVAC tech is about 50 grand a year. And I say average because depending on where you are in the country, that ranges from, I don't know, between 30,000 on the low end and 80,000 on the high end, depending on where you live in the country. So, yeah, the average would be, I'd say, about 50,000. That's what a good tech makes. Another reason I would say get involved in the HVAC trade. Another reason I'd say get involved in it, because HVAC jobs are on the rise right now. It's about 40,000 jobs a year being created in this trade. And that's with systems modifying and new ways of implementing, new stuff that's being introduced to the trade. I mean, just new jobs are being created through HVAC every year. And it's going to be like that for at least the next decade. Another reason I say get involved is career flexibility. I mean, you can specialize in a specific skill with HVAC, or you can start your own company. And I personally became a small contractor. I started a small company. I got to slowly build it though. And what I mean is start with appliances and doing maintenance on residential, build up, get more tools, get a van, and build it as I go. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how that's how it's gotta happen. Because I didn't come from money, so I have to earn it and build it as I go. But you can also just remain a one-man outfit, and I'm gonna be that one-man operation for the first couple of years. And you can specialize in specific skills like doing installs, doing just maintenance work, doing refrigeration work, refrigeration maintenance, commercial HVAC work, like commercial duct work, duct cleaning and that kind of stuff. Or you can specialize in oil heating, oil burners, because I know the Midwest is full of those. Like everybody in the Midwest has a basement and they have oil burners that heat the house. So I mean, it's a lot of that stuff, a lot of that kind of work that's out there, and it's endless. HVAC systems are everywhere you look. HVAC, now, just so you know, HVAC is, the acronym is heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And it's actually HVAC/R. And that /R is refrigeration. So it's heating, cooling, or it's heating, ventilation, air conditioning, cooling, and refrigeration. That kind of covers the whole gist of the term. But yeah, HVAC systems are everywhere, man. And all the buildings that you pass, all the buildings that are out there, man, got ventilation systems, heating and cooling systems. If it's hot in the summer, they need to be cool inside. If it's cold in the winter, they need to be warm inside. Every house that has people in it has some sort of HVAC system, or they have appliances, water heaters, washer dryers, all kinds of stuff that you could use your skills to fix, man. So I mean, you got 3 or 4 ways to go into a person's house and earn money. It's either their duct work, their heating and cooling system, you know what I'm saying, or the water heater, or the washer and dryer, the dish disposal, all that stuff, or the garbage disposal on your dishwasher, next to the dishwasher. All of that stuff, man. I would say microwaves, but sometimes it's cheaper just to buy a new microwave, so I wouldn't suggest fixing microwaves. And there are ever-changing projects in this trade because they always invent new stuff. They always invent stuff that runs better or more efficient than the last, or they claim it does, and they give rebates on it. And sometimes your customers want new stuff and they want the latest stuff with the rebates. So I mean, you always have a good HVAC person can be a really good resource to his clients. So, and people value HVAC people. They do. You have to, once you develop a diverse range of skills, people will keep your phone number on their refrigerator all the time. And they'll give you a call. And once you build trust with them, yeah, people will keep your information with them all the time. You can build community dependency on your skill set. Because like when people are hot in the summertime and you go in there and fix the air conditioner, fix it in and out, you get it done and get out of there. I mean, they look at you like you saved the day. They treat you like a god. And it's like, man, thank you for getting here and helping us out. Whatever. And they'll pay your price, but you just tell them how to maintain their systems. You keep good records on what you do, so they'll know to contact you when they need to contact you, that kind of thing. And by you building that kind of favor with your community or building that community dependency, you are also building a repeat customer. You're building repeat business. And you are building a pool of people that will do your advertisement for you through word of mouth. Because they all know somebody. This person always knows somebody else. And people trust each other on recommendations. So, also, yeah, man, there are opportunities for continued learning. You got to increase your skill sets. But if you were and if you're working for somebody, then increasing your skill sets through different certifications means more money. If you work for yourself, increasing your skill sets through certifications mean that you could sell them more products that you know how to install, take care of, and show them how it benefits them. I mean, it's more money. It's a trade that will not let you starve. And I know, yeah, depending on how young the person is that's hearing this, yeah, some young people, you can't really tell them much. But people that are paying bills and people that are going in and out of jobs, a lot of people have been to that point where they have gotten hungry. Well, the HVAC trade can help you avoid being hungry. Learning this trade can help you avoid being hungry. The more you know, the more you learn, the more you earn. The more you know, the more you grow. I mean, this is the kind of trade, this is the type of trade that HVAC is. This is also, I suggest getting in the HVAC trade, but I'd also say this about other trades. The trades, period. I suggest getting involved in the trades, namely the heating and cooling trade, because you can become robot proof. You can robot proof yourself, right? You can you can proof yourself against artificial intelligence taking over your job. I mean, because it's pretty hard for... All right, now I'm sure artificial intelligence can help you with troubleshooting systems somehow or another. I'm sure it can help you with the troubleshooting, but changing out parts and doing new installs on parts, yeah, robots can't really do that. You got to do that. It takes your hands, it takes your skills, your know-how to do that. Diagnosing systems, I'm sure they will come up with some kind of artificial intelligence that can do that. But when it comes to diagnostics, there has to be a tech there, because you're going to have to hook up the equipment to do the diagnostics. And once you find the parts, again, that are faulty, you're going to have to change them out. There is job security in the HVAC trade. Due to your skill set and years of practice in this trade, man, you can build a solid life for yourself. You really can. That's why I got into it. I love it, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna start teaching it, or I'm gonna start laying a diary online of what I do, when I do it, how I do it, which in turn will teach a bunch of y'all like how to do what I'm doing. And for a lot of y'all that want to get involved in it and become professionals, then you'll have a head start. You'll already have my videos. You'll already have a lot of other resources that I'll have online. You'll have a lot of other resources, and it'll make it easier for you to learn, especially when it comes to you doing your hands-on stuff. But yeah, man, HVAC is a trade. I wouldn't trade it at this point in my life for anything else. I really wouldn't. And for a lot of y'all that are going between jobs and trying to get other jobs, go from this one to that one to this one to that, look, at some point or another in your life, you're gonna age out. You're gonna age out, and people, middle-aged people, know what I mean by that. I mean, the more you change jobs, and it's good when you're young because you get experience in different places. But the older you get, man, you got to see the flip side of that. The flip side of it is, the older you get, the less desirable you are as a candidate for someone to hire you for anything. The less of a desired candidate for hire you become, the older you get. So in that regard, I would definitely say, seriously consider the HVAC trade. I appreciate all the bumps and bruises I went through to get to where I am as a contractor. I mean, not everybody goes through the same path. Like, I mean, if you talk to 100 different HVAC techs, they probably tell you 100 different ways that they got to where they are. Some of them had uncles in the trade. Some of them had grandfathers. They worked for their grandfathers. Some of them had dads. Some of them stumbled across it just learning on their own, trying to fix their own equipment. And one piece of equipment led to something bigger, whatever. Some people went to school for it. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of ways that you can increase your knowledge base. I would suggest, keep coming back and looking for my HVAC videos. I'll make a lot of references to other guys that I look at, or other guys that I, comment on or follow. And yeah, man, we'll it's an ongoing learning process for everybody. So it's just like law. You know how it's like law and medicine. Like how lawyers say, I have a law practice, and doctors will say, oh yeah, I got a medical practice. Well, they call it a practice because it's something that you can never master. You can never master laws because they keep coming up with new stuff. You can never master medicine because they keep coming up with new stuff. And the same pill, if you gave the same pill to 10 different people, it would affect them 10 different ways. So it's a medical practice. Doctors are practitioners. Lawyers are practitioners. And in a lot of instances, heating and cooling professionals, HVAC techs, we are practitioners because they keep inventing new systems and putting new things in line with what's going on with the systems now. So you have to keep studying to keep your knowledge base up. You have to keep learning. You gotta keep learning this stuff. But again, that's what keeps it exciting. That's what keeps you from going broke. That's what keeps you from being hungry. Learning and constantly practicing your skill set, building your skill set. Again, man, it's Cousin Leon, man. If you are considering the HVAC trade, I definitely say do it, do it, do it. Follow me, learn more from me. Send me an email, and we'll talk about it. Like, send me an email, just ask me a question. I got a newsletter I can include you on. And we'll build resources online. We'll build resources and post them online for other techs to read, for other people that want to learn the trade to read. I suggest just start learning. You have to get started. But it can bulletproof your lifestyle. It could bulletproof you against being hungry, ever. It could bulletproof you against starvation. And the way things are going nowadays, with how people are losing jobs and all that old stuff, man, with how the job markets are, you really have to have an ace in your pocket, man. You need your own rabbit's foot. You need your own rabbit's foot. HVAC is mine, and it has not let me down. I think about that guy that introduced me to it, though, the crook that introduced me to this trade. I wonder how he's doing now. I was looking for him on Facebook, because I'm still friends with the dude. I was looking for him on Facebook, man, but he hadn't posted anything since 2020. So he hadn't made a Facebook posting in 5 years. I'm starting to think that the folks in Denver probably ran him out of Denver. I don't know if he's still doing what he was doing in North Alabama. Yeah, the folks probably ran him out of Denver. But at any rate, even though I had some bumps and bruises with that guy, he turned me on to a solid trade. I just had to build my skill set, honestly, from the ground up. I had to do it in school. And because I didn't trust anybody after working with this guy. I didn't trust anybody. So I had to do it plus, I didn't have no time to waste. So I had to do it in a structured setting. And that's how I chose to do it. And I became a contractor from it. So, at any rate, I suggest y'all do the same. Stay in touch with me. Cousin Leon, I'm up. Peace.